Apologies for being a few minutes behind, but good afternoon, and thank you so much for being here. Glad to be joined by our Secretary of Human Services, Christy Putnam, and our State Medicaid Director, Janet Mann. I know that they and the entire team over at DHS have worked incredibly hard on what we are going to be announcing today. I also want to recognize the many legislators in the room with us. We know they're extremely busy right now, keeping us very busy, which we're excited for, and glad to have some more activity back in the hallways, but glad that all of you are here, and I think that this will be a great thing for all of us to continue working together on. There have been a lot of questions about our plans for Medicaid, and 2 weeks ago I told several of you to check back in. Well, I hope you will be happy, but the wait is over. My focus since the start of this administration has been to empower people, never trapping them in a life of poverty. We want to give Arkansans a hand up, not a handout, and giving everyone an opportunity to live their best life right here in Arkansas. That's why today I'm announcing that our state will seek a waiver from the Trump administration to let us create a Medicaid work requirement. The requirement is simple. If you want to receive free health care paid for by your fellow taxpayer, able-bodied working-age adults have to work, go to school, volunteer, or be home to take care of their kids. 220,000 able-bodied working-age adults in Arkansas receive free health care, courtesy of the Arkansas taxpayer. It cost us more than $2.2 billion each year and growing. Of those recipients, estimates show that nearly 90,000 have no job. Most Arkansans work hard to pay for their health insurance, but many of these healthy adults don't work at all and receive it for free. That is not how the system should work. I go into factories and small businesses all over the state, and the number one complaint that we hear is that we can't find people fast enough. My administration is investing in education and growing our workforce to help address that problem. But as long as we pay for people to sit on the sidelines, we will never reach our full potential. On top of that, work is more than just a steady paycheck. It builds responsibility and grows skills. It can be an escape from crime, fatherlessness, and hunger. To quote a former Arkansas governor, work requirements give us a chance that we haven't had to break the cycle of dependency that has existed for millions and millions of our fellow citizens, exiling them from the world of work. It gives structure, meaning, and dignity to most of our lives. And no, in case you're wondering, that's not my dad, it's actually Bill Clinton. We don't see eye to eye on many issues, but on this, we agree. This is not Arkansas's first attempt at a work requirement. We were successfully implementing one under the previous Trump administration before it was held up in court. I'll let Christy and Janet get into some of the specifics, but we are confident that the revised waiver will be approved by CMS and upheld in court, and that we can get to implementing it quickly. And once this work requirement starts, we'll achieve our goal, moving Arkansans off the path of government dependency and onto the path to prosperity. With this announcement this morning, we've also achieved 10 straight months of record jobs number. That goal is within our reach. I was at President Trump's inauguration last week, and he painted a picture of a new kind of America, one where communities are strong, the economy is growing, families support each other, and people are empowered to create their own future. But that can't happen if people are trapped on government dependency. Arkansas will lead the nation in breaking that cycle. I want to thank the team at DHS again for their many long days and nights that they've put into crafting this waiver, and I'll let Christy and Janet come up to say a few words, and then I'll gladly take a few questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor Sanders, for your bold leadership on this important initiative. The Pathway to Prosperity Amendment has the potential to provide new opportunities for Arkansans across the state, and we're grateful for your vision to make this beneficial approach to Medicaid a reality. Thank you to our many legislative partners who have expressed support of this endeavor. This amendment will position Arkansas to be the first state to implement work requirements, as Governor Sanders said, for enrollees ages 19 to 64 who are eligible through the Medicaid Adult Expansion Eligibility Group. At its core, Pathway to Prosperity is about helping Arkansans learn about new opportunities, seek new skills, pursue new careers, and not just work jobs without focusing on their futures. The goal should be for Medicaid to be a safety net, and we should routinely see healthy adults moving from government dependence to economic independence, improving their health in the process. It is not punitive. It is about purpose. We also know that poverty is directly linked to poor health outcomes, economic insecurity, and family instability. Employment, then, is vital to a person's long-term health and overall well-being. This is also about finding purpose within one's community. In fact, in order for individuals to be successful, they must not only engage with their community, but the community needs to engage with them. Stronger individuals lead to stronger families, which lead to stronger communities, and ultimately a stronger Arkansas. It's also important to note that there are already work and community engagement requirements in place for our Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program and our Temporary Assistance to Needy Families Program. This amendment is solidly in line with other work requirements in SNAP and TANF, which continue to provide opportunities for people to find pathways to success. We know this can work for Medicaid as well, and when we provide support to help beneficiaries move off of Medicaid, we are able to devote more of our resources to other Arkansans who truly need them. Next, I'd like to introduce Deputy Secretary for Programs and State Medicaid Director Janet Mann to provide some operational details on how this program will work.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Secretary Putnam, and thank you, Governor, for hosting us this afternoon. We have worked to design this amendment taking into account lessons learned from previous work requirements. We have developed a truly innovative approach that positions us to transform the lives of many Arkansans. Pathway to Prosperity will use data matching to identify individuals who could benefit from extra support to reach health and economic goals. Working age, non-disabled individuals covered by the qualified health plans on our home will be assessed on track or not on track through data matching and audits of automated activity tracking. For those who are identified as not on track, they will be provided the opportunity to receive focused care coordination services to support health and economic self-sufficiency. The services include the establishment and monitoring of a personal development plan. Success coaching will be provided through the existing resources to offer focused care coordination services and connection to community resources to eligible individuals, including the establishment of the personal development plan. We will leverage the resources available through the health plans, state agencies such as the Arkansas Division of Workforce Services and Arkansas Career and Technical Education, and local community partners. Active participation in health and workforce development will become part of the expectation of receiving health care through an Our Home Health Plan. Individuals who refuse to cooperate with DHS and decline to use the services and the incentives covered from their qualified health plan will have their Our Home coverage suspended. They will not be disenrolled from the Medicaid program. Benefits can be rapidly restored if the individual chooses to get on track with their personal development plan. In developing this amendment, we focused on the importance of providing clear communications through multiple means, simplicity in design, and the need for personal interaction rather than over-reliance on technology. One of the main priorities for Medicaid is sustainability and the continuance to be the safety net, and this amendment is another step in that direction for the Pathway to Prosperity, healthy adults moving from government dependence to economic independence and improving their health in the process. We are excited with the amendment we have developed, and we look forward to the 30-day public comment period that will occur before we submit to CMS. Thank you.
We'll take a couple questions if there are any. Andrew?
Governor, what about this do you think makes it more defendable in court than the previous version? And I wonder if DHS could elaborate a little more on how the success coaches will be chosen, and I guess there's a three-person panel that will review their recommendations. who's that going to be made up of? It sounds like they're going to have a lot of power on deciding whether or not someone is suspended.
Sure, I'll answer the first part and then let Janet and Christy take the second piece. I think there are a couple things that are at play that we feel confident will allow this to be upheld in court. Number one, it's a new administration, one that we have a lot more confidence will work closely with us. Two, the data matching component of this work requirement waiver request is different than what we've submitted in the past. And three, and I think this is probably the biggest piece, is that we are not permanently removing someone for the roles, but temporarily suspending so that they have the ability to get in compliance and get back on the program if they show that they're in compliance. And I think that's probably one of the biggest and key differences from previous requests. And I'll let Christy and Janet answer the second part of your question.
So as far as the success coaching, it's actually success coaching, and we intend to leverage existing resources, as Deputy Secretary Mann referenced. We have great partners in other agencies, but we have a great deal of resources developed to be able to support success coaching through our programs. On the other pieces, as far as the reviews and the audits, that will all be negotiated during our discussions with CMS, and so those are some of the operational details that will be worked out during the negotiation process.
Sure.
I guess my question would be for DHS. How long have you been collecting this data where you kind of came to the assumption of 220,000 people or able bodies that can work?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So we monitor our eligibility every month, and so the 220,000 eligible individuals are currently in the Our Home program. All of them will be evaluated to see if they will qualify to be on track or not on track through the amendment waiver.
Will there be any sort of leeway or exception or assistance for folks in rural areas where there's not a big, job market and we don't have the resources to get to a bigger city where job market works?
Certainly, one of the goals that we have in this administration is to make sure there's opportunity no matter where you live in Arkansas, but there are some specific things that are included in exemptions. Volunteer work, which I don't know what kind of community doesn't have that opportunity available, but I would imagine everyone does. Going to school, people who are parents who are staying home with their kids, those are some of the specific exemptions already outlined. Great, thank y'all so much, appreciate it. Oh, sure, go ahead.
Have you been following Senate Bill 3, that's the one that prohibits the preferential treatment? How do you think that would do with the playing field right now looking for jobs in Arkansas?
Certainly, we want Arkansas to be in compliance with federal law and bring us up to that standard. I'm continuing to review a lot of pieces of legislation, and the specifics of that bill we'll keep looking at. But I think anything that brings Arkansas further into compliance with where federal law and federal statute lands is something that we should be looking at.
Governor, the president's freeze on federal spending, we've heard of states where they're not able to access their Medicaid portals. Is that an issue with Arkansas? And also, what impact are you seeing for other programs? How does the state deal with this?
They're going to continue to send out specific guidance and feel confident that we'll continue to work with the Trump administration as well as our federal delegation. I think the bigger picture and where the president is spot on is the fact that the U.S. has a $36 trillion deficit, and we cannot continue to waste money. And I think he's right to take a step back, look at every program, and make sure that we're spending taxpayer money wisely. I'm not aware of any problems that we have at this point, but I think they've been clear too that things that have direct assistance, specifically Medicaid, SNAP, and other programs would be exempt from the freeze. We've received that guidance, and so we don't expect there to be any problems.
Governor, has the state been assisting with any ice rates?
We have been proactive in letting them know that we support the removal of violent repeat offenders, people who have broken our law. Over the course of the last 2 years, even with the Biden administration's failures in their ability to protect our borders, Arkansas has stepped up. We will continue to do so as we see fit. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate it.